No IG live. Hi, Facebook. Hi, YouTube. Hi. Hi, Instagram. Long time no IG live. Hello. Today we are talking about the 5 misconceptions people have about life insurance. Hi, Mama. Thank you so much for joining me on Instagram. Just let me know where you're watching me from. This is Money Talk with Lady T. This is Money Talk with Lady T. Let me know where you're watching me from and your location, and let's get it started. Now, this topic, I have been wanting to do it because I have this conversation often with people. I have been wanting to do this in a while, right? And why should you listen to me? Why should I be the one telling you the 5 misconceptions? Because these were the 5 misconceptions that I had about life insurance, about insurance in general. Okay, so I can assure you I am the right person that you should listen to on this topic because I used to be the president of the Insurance Misconception Association. Hi, Mama. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. All right. I used to run away from insurance. But once I hear insurance, I will run. So that was me, right? Until I realized something. While I was in Nigeria, I ran away from it. Why? Because I was young. I felt like, you know what? I'm working, I'm making money. I don't need to put anything aside for anything. I'm not going anywhere, because I had some of these misconceptions, which I'm going to be sharing with us today. And when I got into Canada, my perception started changing. Number one, I was no longer getting younger. Okay. And I was no longer as strong as I used to be. You know how you're strong, you can wake up, go to work, come back, go to work, come back, you don't even feel tired. But now I realize that the time will come when I'm no longer as strong as I used to be. I'm no longer as fit as I used to be, or even the labor market may not even find me fit enough to remain in the labor market. And I started thinking about what I should do for that time. What should I do for that future? All right. And that's when I started going into this life insurance, looking into it to learn about it. And in learning about it, I had to now go deep into getting licensed so that I will have the authority to speak to people about it. Okay. So, like I said, today we are doing 5 misconceptions that people have about life insurance, and I'll be able to provide you with a more informed opinion, right, or facts around these things, so that if you are like me at that time and you have any of these misconceptions, I'm hoping that at the end of this 20 to 30 minutes, I would have been able to guide you or provide you with the correct information that you need to make an informed decision. Okay. So, the number one thing I thought that life insurance was for old people. I always used to think that life insurance was for old people. I was too young. I'm too young. I'm working. I'm making all my money. If something happens to me, what's my own? Life continues. Things like that. I never really thought about it as something a young person should have. I always felt it was something that old people should have. Thank you so much for joining me on Instagram. Just let me know where you're watching me from, and so I'll be able to shout out to you. Okay. So the number one misconception people have is they think that life insurance is for old people. So this is me trying to correct this misconception. All right. And why am I calling it a misconception? Because I want us to understand right now that life insurance is not bought with money. You don't buy money. You don't buy life insurance with your money. You buy life insurance with your health and with your age. Do you understand? There are so many old people who have a whole lot of money and who are looking to buy life insurance, but guess what? No insurance company is offering it to them. They keep getting declined and declined and declined. Why? Because life insurance is not something you buy with money. Life insurance is something you buy with health and you buy with age. So there's a certain age you would be, and there's a certain health condition you will be in that you would no longer be able to afford life insurance no matter how much money you have. So I hear people say, hey, I don't have enough money now. Let me get it later. Let me get it later when I have money. Or let me get it later when I am more settled. Not knowing that what you are doing is taking more risk, because that later, nobody knows what's going to happen. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she said there was this guy who, she was trying to advise to get a life insurance policy. And the guy said, oh, I'm going to get it next year, right? Next year. This is just 1 year, right? This is not even that the person has gone far. The person that was going to get it next year. 2 months before this person reached out to her, he had a medical emergency. He had to go to the hospital and he had some long issue or something like that. And even the doctor said, go and get life insurance. But guess what? By the time he reached out to this lady and they did an application, this guy was rejected by 3 insurance companies. It was a decline, decline, decline. So by the time he was ready to get the life insurance plan, it was a big decline from all over. So that's why I'm saying that it is a misconception to think that life insurance is for old people. It's not for old people. It is for young people. In fact, the younger you are, the more affordable life insurance will be for you. So if you're someone who is looking at money, you're looking at affordability, does it not make sense to get it when it is the most affordable? So get this life insurance when it is most affordable and not when you can no longer afford it, no matter how much money you have. Okay, so I hope I've been able to clear this one misconception. If that is the one that you have, I hope you can make a better informed decision on it right now. Now let's go to number 2. Number 2 is the one that I don't know. I shake my head, right? This one is not even my misconception is the one I hear people say, right? Some people feel that life insurance is for wealthy people. So they're like, it's for rich people. It's not for people like, how people like to say people like us. I don't know how you'll be using your own mouth. Like there are some things we say about ourselves that if someone else says it to you, you will slap the person. If someone else says it to you, you will slap the person. But guess what? There are people who are saying this about themselves on a daily basis. So that second misconception is you saying that or thinking that life insurance is for rich people or life insurance is for wealthy people. Yeah. I'm keeping quiet to let that sink in, right? But let me provide you with some context. You know how they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? The reason this is happening is not because the rich people are stopping the poor from getting rich. Because what people think that's the case. It is not because the rich are stopping the poor from getting rich. It is just because the poor have refused to do what the rich are doing. The poor people have refused to do what the rich people are doing. Instead, they say it is for rich people. And so the more you are saying this thing is for rich people, the more the rich people will keep doing it, and the more the rich people will keep getting richer. That is the whole context around the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because the poor have refused to do what the rich are doing. So even if you say you have it in mind that life insurance is for rich people, for someone who is wise or for someone who is smart, if you want to be rich, it's not for you to do what rich people are doing. If you want to be wealthy, it's not for you to do what wealthy people are doing. Will you say, oh no, this thing is for wealthy people, it's not for you, and then you end up not doing it? Is that not the reason why you would remain there, right? Instead of changing your status by doing that thing that the rich people are doing. So the rich people are actually using that life insurance to transfer wealth from generation to generation. So you hear generational wealth. That is rich people using a smaller money to buy a bigger money And this money is being transferred from generation to generation. You can use, like, let's say $20,000 spread across how many years, and you use that $20,000 to buy $1 million. Yeah, that's why we think it's for rich. It's not because it's only the rich that can do it. It is because the rich people are smart enough to do it. So you can use like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 spread across 20 years and use them by $1 million. Yes. And that $1 million is now transferred from generation to generation. So while you are thinking that life insurance is for the rich people, you are not wrong, but my question to you is, don't you want to be rich? If it is for the rich people, don't you want to be rich? You know why people buy Apple? People buy Apple for the status, right? They don't buy Apple phone because they want to make calls or send SMS. They are very cheap phones you can use to make calls and send SMS. Some people buy these phones for the status. They buy these phones because they want to, they are inspired by the wealthy. And so they do this because they also want to be like the wealthy. So if you know that, then look at life insurance as well as your own way of also being like the wealthy. It will be your own way of actually modeling the rich people by doing what they do. Abi, no be so. So let's go to number 3. Number 3 is another one that kind of makes me sad. All right. It makes me sad when I hear people say it. So it's a common misconception, but it actually makes me sad. You hear people say, oh, I already have life insurance from my employer. And this is how they say it though. They booga. They literally, like, they feel like, oh, I already have life insurance from my employer, from my company. So this one actually makes me sad. I always shake my head when I hear it because I know it's a big misconception. They actually think they have life insurance. That life insurance is not yours, it's your employer's. And it only means that your employer cares more about the company. Do you understand? Your employer cares more about his company. That's why he's making you get that life insurance. So that if something happens to you while you're working for the employer, they don't have to put money in their own pocket to settle you or settle your family. Think about it. They don't have to put money in their pocket to settle your family. So they set up a group life insurance so that imagine if all their employees, something happens to them, then the company now has to go and pay money to the family of these employees, right? So the company doesn't want to do it. And so the company set up a group life insurance, which is owned by them. Owned by them. You're only a member. They only put your name. So the day you stop being an employee, you are removed from that group life insurance, and you would now have to get it for yourself in your own name. And at that point, there is a high tendency that it becomes very expensive. That's number one. There is also a chance that by that time you become old, or you are no longer as healthy as you were when you started the job. And so it becomes another decline for you. So don't be saying, oh, I have this life insurance, because number one, I don't believe, except that is your decision, but I don't believe you want to work with that company forever. Okay, especially my Africans in Canada. I don't believe that you want to work there forever. Something can happen. You're growing, your career is growing, you might find something better. But guess what? You work with this company from age 30, and then let's even say you work for 5 years, age 35, you have to leave for one reason or the other. You are no longer 30. The insurance, if you want to get it in your personal name, it is no longer affordable. It's no longer as affordable as it would have been if you had got it when you were 30. Remember what I said about the first one. You buy insurance with your age and with your health. You don't buy it with money. Okay, because there are people that have all the money in the world, but they cannot still get life insurance because of their age or because of their health. Okay, so if that is what you have been using to console yourself, that, oh, I have life insurance with my employer, I just want to remind you or provide you with this fact that that life insurance is not yours. It can be, you can lose it. All right. And secondly, that life insurance is not enough. They're just giving you enough to be able to protect their own back, but they're not giving you enough to protect your back. So they care about the company, they don't care about your family. It is your responsibility to care about your family. All right. So that is number 3 misconception. Let's move to number 4 misconception. That number 4 misconception is quite ridiculous. All right. I laugh because some people don't even know, right? They have this misconception, but they don't even know that they have this misconception. And that is when you think that life insurance is an expense, right? You think you are spending money. We think life insurance expense is, something that is taking money from you. When you buy an iPhone, that's an expense. When you pay school fees, for example, that's an expense. When you pay for your car, that's an expense, right? Because it's taking money from you. Even though, yes, you're getting value, but it's considered an expense, right? So people think life insurance is also an expense. So when you tell them to get life insurance, they would say, I don't have spare money. So because you see it as an expense, you say, oh, I don't have money. So this is me providing you with the correct fact around life insurance. Life insurance is not an expense. Life insurance is an investment into your future. It's an investment into your family's future. It's an investment into generational wealth. Because let's look at it. What do you call an investment? I keep saying it that I want to bring this thing down as simply as possible. Okay. Um, car insurance, for example, I am in the insurance world. Like, if you are in Alberta and you need home insurance, car insurance, travel insurance, reach out to me. I am your plug, right? So I have that information, I have that knowledge, I have that experience when it comes to insurance, right? So you could have car insurance, for example, for 20 years, 20 years, and you're paying premium for 20 years and you don't have any accident. You don't have any accident, you don't make any claim, you would continue to pay that premium. You will continue to pay the premium month after month after month after month. Okay? So that's the thing with car insurance, right? Now let's look at life insurance. And that's why some people don't like it, because they're like, oh, I'm a very careful driver. I can drive very well. I don't have accidents. I don't do this. I don't do that. Do you understand? And so they consider it as an expense. So whenever they hear insurance, they are thinking that this is like an expense. This is something that is just taking money from them, right? But let me tell you how life insurance is slightly different from any other kind of insurance. Life insurance is the only insurance that pays out. Yeah, except you're not getting the correct life insurance, or except you're not getting the right life insurance for your need, for your specific need. All right. Let me give you an example. You take a permanent life insurance, for example, of, let's say, 100,000, just $100,000 permanent life insurance, and you're paying your premium, and you're going to pay your premium for like 20 years. You pay that premium for 20 years and you have that life insurance of 100,000 for life. So whatever happens, you get $100,000 for your family. And even if nothing happens, you still have some cash or some return on that investment. Do you understand? So this is where people get it wrong. They think, oh, life insurance is an expense. It would never pay. It would never pay out. But the thing is, if you are wise and you take the right kind of insurance for your need, you would notice that life insurance would pay. And you would notice that life insurance is not an expense, it's actually an investment. You are investing into your future. You are investing into your family's future. You are investing into your family's happiness. You are investing into your family, into peace of mind. Do you understand? So it's not an expense. It's not something that you say, let me look for money. Let me finish paying for Netflix. I'm paying for that one. I'm paying for that one. And then if there's money remaining, then I can do life insurance. No. I always say, when they say pay yourself first, this is how you pay yourself first, because you are paying your future self. Pay yourself first is not go and buy McDonald's when they pay you salary. Pay yourself first is pay your future self, because every decision you are taking, just imagine that your 60-year-old self, your 50-year-old self, your 70-year-old self is standing beside you for every decision you make. Every financial decision you make, just imagine that your 50-year-old, 60-year-old, 70-year-old, 80-year-old self is right beside you, and ask yourself this question: will that future self be happy for the decision you're about to make? So when you tell people, I don't have money for life insurance, I want you to ask yourself, your future self that is standing beside you, is that future self happy with that decision you have just made? It's food for thought. I want you to ask yourself. So that is number 4 misconception. People think life insurance is an expense. No, life insurance is not an expense. An expense is money that leaves you, that would never come back. Money that leaves you and will never come back, that's an expense. If money leaves you and it's going to come back with more money, that's an investment. All right. If money leaves you and it's going to come back with more money, is an investment. But if money leaves you and it doesn't come back at all, then that's an expense. So do not consider life insurance an expense, because I have just explained to you right now how that money would always come back to you, especially when you are wise about it and you take the right plan for your need. Okay, so let's go to number 5, which is the last misconception for today. People think that it's only single people that need life insurance. So I've heard people say, hey, I'm single, I don't have a responsibility, so if something happens to me, nobody will be financially impacted. You know, we hear that. If something happens to me, nobody will be affected, right? But let me ask you a question. If something happens to you, who's going to bury you? It's going to bury you. It's not money they'll use and bury you in this Canada. This is not your home country where they will just dig ground and put you inside, or where people are going to contribute money and bury you, right? This is Canada. Oh. You cannot carry your base and go to grave. You cannot. So if something happens to you, who's going to bury you? Who's going to pay taxes? Who's all the base that you have? Who's going to take care of it, right? So on one hand, I want you to look at it as, this is me providing peace of mind to those I leave behind. On another hand, I want you to take advantage of the young age that you have. I will go back again to number 1. You don't buy life insurance with money. You buy life insurance with your age. You buy life insurance with your health. So when you are young and single, you're most likely your health is in good shape. Most likely your age is on the lower side. That means that is the perfect time to get that life insurance. The second thing I want to mention is, you can get that life insurance. Like I said, remember I said, get the right plan for your need. So you can get the life insurance that serves as a retirement strategy for you. You can get the life insurance that not only insures your life, but insures your retirement income. All right. It doesn't just insure your life, but it insures your retirement. And that brings me to the bonus misconception. Remember, I said we're going to talk about just five misconceptions today, but there's a bonus misconception, which is what I will use and end this session tonight. And that bonus misconception is when people think that life insurance only pays when they pass away. They think their life insurance only pays when they pass away. So when you are talking to them about life insurance, all they are thinking about is death, and they don't like to think about death. Human beings don't like to think about death, even though death is one thing that is inevitable, is one thing that is inevitable. As long as people are being born, people are going to live. Okay, but let's even take that aside. So we understand that people don't like to talk about that. They don't, that's not what they want to be thinking about. That's not what they want to be planning about. But because we have that misconception that life insurance only pays when someone passes away, I want to let you know today that that is a misconception. That is just one type of life insurance. That's not all the types of life insurance. There is life insurance that pays you even while you are alive. Okay? There's life insurance that pays you even while you are alive. And this is what we are going to be talking about in the African Moms in Canada community. It's always been my passion to work with mothers because I'm a mother myself, and I know that it's mothers that make a home. Okay, so it's always been my passion to work with mothers, to provide them with the right knowledge, to provide them with the right money mindset, all right, and to make sure that we are taking better financial decisions that have us in mind, that have our children in mind, that have our family in mind. Okay, so these are more some of the things we're going to be talking about in the African Moms in Canada community. So if you haven't joined our group, our WhatsApp group, you can click the link on my bio on Instagram, or you can click the group link that I'm going to put on the page on Facebook to join that community, because we're going to be having more of these knowledge sharing sessions around money, around wealth, around business, around career, around parenting, all in the bit of making you live a better life here in Canada. Trust me, you did not come to this country to just live one day at a time. You have that big Canadian dream when you came here. All right. Mine is to live a vacation life. I don't know about you, but I'm sure you have that dream. You have that big Canadian dream when you came here. It's not to come here and live one day at a time. All right. So we are going to work together to help you actualize that dream. That's the whole essence. All right. So if you're a mom, if you're an African mom and you're in Canada, you know what to do. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the link in bio to join our WhatsApp community, where we are going to be having our daily knowledge sharing, where we're going to be connecting, networking, collaborating, meeting one another, getting to know one another, and helping one another on this journey in this country. All right. So my name is Lady Teresa. I am popularly known as the Canada Moms Advisor. I'm a licensed financial advisor based in Edmonton, Alberta, and I look forward to welcoming you in our community. You know what to do. Send me a DM if you have questions or if you want to talk some more, and let us take it from here. So stay tuned on this page. You're going to be hearing more from me. We're going to be talking about different topics on our page or in our community. So if you want to know more, click that button, join our community, or send me a DM and let's have a conversation around your financial goals and your plans to achieve those financial goals. All right. So see you next time on Money Talk with Lady T. All right. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mama. Have an amazing rest of your evening. Cheers.